Khal Drogo, the fearsome leader of the Dothraki, was a man who commanded respect, and his death in Game of Thrones was one of the most pivotal moments for Daenerys. But what if he had survived? What if Daenerys never had to face the pain of losing him and instead they joined forces to conquer Westeros together? Drogo's unmatched combat skills, his fierce leadership, and the devastating mind of the Dothraki horde could have completely changed the game. Would Westeros have been ready for a united Targaryen-Dothraki empire? And how would the battles, alliances, and final moments of the series have played out with Drogo alive? Moreover, what if they had a child together? This child would not only be the heir to the Targaryen dynasty, but also a symbol of the powerful union between the Targaryens and the Dothraki. A living testament to their strength and ambitions, this child could reshape the political landscape of Westeros. Stick around as we explore this alternate reality. How would Khal Drogo's survival have shifted the course of major events like the War of the Five Kings, the Battle of the Bastards, or even the final showdown at King's Landing? What role would their child play? Would their combined power have made them unstoppable, or would it have led to even more chaos? These are the questions that could change everything we thought we knew about the Game of Thrones saga. Keep watching, because the answers might surprise you. With Khal Drogo surviving, Daenerys' world is forever changed. The birth of their son marks the beginning of a new era, not only for her, but for all of Westeros. This child represents the unification of two powerful forces, the Targaryen dragons and the fierce Dothraki horde. He is more than an heir, he is the embodiment of both fire and war, a future king with the blood of dragons and the spirit of a warrior. But most importantly, Daenerys never has to make the heartbreaking choice between her unborn child and Drogo, a choice that haunted her in the original timeline. With Drogo alive, the child grows as a living testament to their unbreakable bond, uniting their legacies in ways no one could have foreseen. Raised among both the Dothraki and the Targaryens, the child will inspire loyalty and awe. The Dothraki, loyal to Drogo, will view him not as a mere symbol, but as their future leader, one who can lead them beyond the great grass sea. Daenerys, though filled with love for her son, feels the weight of her ambitions. He is not just a child, he is the key to uniting the Dothraki and Targaryens under one banner, giving them the power to conquer Westeros. As the child grows, his bond with the dragons becomes undeniable. Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion are drawn to him, sensing his unique connection. Though his background is different, his bond with the dragons is deep and powerful. He may one day become a ruler unlike any other, one who understands the dragons not as weapons, but as creatures with their own will and spirit. Yet his birth stirs more than love, it stirs tension. The Dothraki, proud and fierce, will begin to see him as their true leader, a figure who could command them with unmatched strength. Drogo may view him as the future conqueror of Westeros, while Daenerys, driven by her vision of peace, may hesitate at the bloodshed this would require. Torn between the fire of his mother's dragons and his father's warrior spirit, the child faces a choice that could unite or tear Westeros apart. This child stands at the crossroads of power and destiny. Will he inherit his mother's vision of justice or his father's ambition for conquest? His decisions will shape the future of Westeros, and the world will tremble at the child who could either unite or destroy it all. The War of the Five Kings begins, but with Khal Drogo at Daenerys' side, it's no longer a war with five kings, it's a war with one unstoppable force. Daenerys, having the full support of the Dothraki and their devastating cavalry, would march on Westeros much earlier than in the original timeline. She wouldn't be merely an exile seeking her throne, she'd be a conqueror with the might of the Dothraki horde behind her. The Dothraki are known for their brutal efficiency, their speed, and their unpredictability in battle. Drogo's tactical brilliance combined with Daenerys' dragons would devastate those who oppose them. Stannis, Renly, Robb, and even the treacherous Joffrey would face their downfall much sooner. The Baratheons, still divided, wouldn't stand a chance against a combined Targaryen-Dothraki army. Robb Stark, though a great leader, would be overwhelmed by the relentless force of the Dothraki and the fire of Drogon. In this timeline, Drogo doesn't just follow Daenerys' lead, he's a key architect of the strategy. His knowledge of warfare and the Dothraki's unparalleled fighting tactics would allow them to strike at the heart of Westeros, with Drogo personally leading his forces in key battles. But despite their military supremacy, Daenerys chooses not to unleash the full fury of Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion just yet. The dragons, though powerful, are not yet fully grown, and Daenerys knows they must be used strategically. The dragons, in their current state, are more symbols of fear than true weapons of mass destruction. After the battles against the Baratheons and Stark forces, Daenerys, with Drogo at her side, makes her move toward King's Landing. The city is ripe for the taking, but a siege is inevitable. Drogo and the Dothraki horde will surround the city, cutting off all supplies and reinforcements. Yet it's the dragons who will tip the scales, bringing down the walls of King's Landing with their fire when the time is right. Once the capital falls, Daenerys' path turns north. The Lannisters will have been crushed, but with the north still under Stark control, the next major challenge comes from the remaining threats to her rule. The Dothraki, though loyal to Drogo, will demand more land and power, threatening to fracture the fragile alliance. Daenerys' next goal will be to secure the loyalty of the northern houses, possibly through marriage alliances, ensuring her reign remains undisputed and unified. The journey is just beginning, and their final destination is still unclear. With King's Landing in their grasp, the road to the Iron Throne will be just the first of many battles in their empire's expansion. The combined force of dragons and Dothraki may have already reshaped Westeros, but true rule will come with the challenge of maintaining it. As Daenerys and Drogo's power rapidly grows, the time for the ultimate battle for the Iron Throne draws near. However, the path to King's Landing is far from straightforward. A new, world-changing war begins, the War for the Iron Crown. In this alternate timeline, Drogo comes up with a bold plan to unexpectedly attack King's Landing in order to seize the throne. The combined forces of Daenerys and Drogo launch the assault, but it's not just the Dothraki horde and Daenerys' dragons that lead the charge. Drogo's strategic decision to besiege the city quickly and without warning makes his plan incredibly powerful. His expertise in siege warfare, combined with the sheer size of the Dothraki army, makes them an unstoppable force. Cersei's forces, entrenched in the Red Keep, are no match for this overwhelming power. Drogo's army encircles the city, and the dragons are the bosses of the sky, causing the defenders to crumble quickly. King's Landing falls not after a prolonged siege, but through a sudden, bold, and ruthless assault. Cersei is captured, and her throne is taken. After the victory, a new question arises: who will sit on the Iron Throne? Drogo, with his power and military victories, has the option to crown himself king. However, Daenerys, with her rightful Targaryen claim, intends to take the throne for herself. Drogo, however, offers her the leadership, pledging to support her as an equal. Daenerys claims the throne, but Drogo remains the man behind her, as her chief ally and powerful military leader. The Targaryen-Dothraki alliance holds the kingdom, but Daenerys is the official ruler. Jon Snow, having defeated the Boltons and secured Winterfell, forms an alliance with Daenerys and Drogo during the War for the Iron Crown, as they move toward the north to prepare for the greater threat. Jon, initially wary of Daenerys and the Dothraki, soon recognizes the necessity of their combined strength. The North cannot stand alone against the White Walkers, and with Daenerys' dragons and Drogo's unrivaled cavalry, they become the perfect partners in the struggle for survival. Jon, Daenerys, and Drogo forge a lasting alliance, bringing together the North, the Dothraki, and the Targaryens under one banner. As they consolidate their power, Jon's role grows even more vital. Now, with the combined might of the North and the Dothraki, they start preparing for the ultimate battle, the fight against the White Walkers. When the White Walkers descend upon Westeros, Drogo, Daenerys, and Jon Snow would lead the charge against the dead, with the son of Drogo and Daenerys now grown and ready to fight. The Dothraki, having already proven their worth in multiple battles, would be invaluable in the war against the undead. Drogo, with his fearsome leadership and the Dothraki's ability to fight with fire and dragon claws on their spears, would take the front lines, using the Dothraki's legendary speed and precision to engage the dead on multiple fronts. With Jon, Daenerys and Drogo working together, Daenerys and Drogon, Jon with the North's armies, and Drogo with his Dothraki cavalry, the army of the dead would face a coordinated, overwhelming resistance. Drogo's deep understanding of battle tactics would ensure that the fight is taken to the Night King's army, and the Dothraki's flames would be key in fighting back the walkers, who feared fire above all. With their combined forces, the Night King might never even make it to Winterfell, as Drogo and Daenerys crushed the army of the dead early in the fight. Their son, raised as a warrior, would also prove instrumental, leading the charge alongside his parents and proving that the next generation of Targaryens and Dothraki were a force to be reckoned with. As the battle rages on, it is the young hero who, with a keen sense of strategy learned from both his parents, ultimately delivers the fatal blow to the Night King, thrusting a spear laced with dragonglass into his chest as the horde collapses around him. His act of bravery would not only solidify his place as a future ruler, but also symbolize the unity between the Targaryen and Dothraki peoples, an unbreakable bond that ensured the defeat of the greatest threat Westeros had ever faced. In this alternate timeline, the survival of Khal Drogo fundamentally reshapes the future of Westeros. His return to Daenerys' side alters the trajectory of major events and redefines the power dynamics of the Seven Kingdoms. Together, they form an unbreakable bond, uniting the Targaryen dragons and the ferocious Dothraki horde. Their child, a living symbol of this alliance, becomes the beacon of a new legacy, bridging the gap between fire and war, justice and conquest. With Khal Drogo's strategic brilliance and his leadership, the Dothraki bring a devastating edge to Daenerys' campaign. Their swift, brutal tactics and combined with Daenerys' dragons create an unstoppable force that reshapes the War of the Five Kings. Drogo's military expertise ensures that key battles, like those against the Baratheons, Starks and Lannisters, are won swiftly, with the Dothraki cavalry proving decisive at every turn. The Iron Throne, once a contested symbol of power, falls swiftly under their combined assault, and Cersei is no match for the might of the united forces. Yet the true test comes after victory, ruling the realm. While Daenerys claims the throne, Drogo's influence remains paramount, and their son stands poised to inherit a united kingdom. But internal strife and political tensions soon arise, as the Dothraki demand more power and the noble houses question Daenerys' vision of justice. The child, torn between his mother's ideals and his father's warrior spirit, must navigate these turbulent waters and decide the future of Westeros. This what-if scenario presents a powerful, united Westeros, one built on strength, loyalty, and the melding of two legendary forces. The combined legacy of the Targaryens and Dothraki could not only defeat the greatest threats, but also change Westeros forever. What do you think? Would Drogo's survival have led to a more united Westeros, or would it have disrupted Daenerys' journey? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Game of Thrones theories.